Hello, hello, hello. It's Knits for Sanity, and welcome to day 8 of my holiday celebration with Add More Zest's Zesty Advent Calendar Diamond Painting, as well as their daily Advent gift. My daily Advent gift is only 12 days of Christmas. 24 days were available, but they sold out too fast for me. But I'm so thrilled with the 12 days that I did get, and I have been loving both Advents so much. So thank you for coming back and joining me today. There is a little bit of background noise. It's hard filming in the middle of your house with a family of 6 in a teeny tiny little space. So I've talked about it before, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. That's just part of life, right? All right, I already felt what day 8 is, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys are gonna love this. Check it out. Look. This is one of their mini trays that we have seen. And More Zest has had these out for a couple of her videos and stuff. So we have seen these, and I am so excited to have one. It's not like a real tray. I mean, there's no opening there or anything like that, but it's perfect for like your trash drills. I may add a magnet to the bottom of this, or something to maybe at least make it a little bit stickier. But this is so cute. Look at how adorable this is. But it is perfect for trash drills. In fact, I think I will leave it out, and that's what I will use it for today while I'm painting. Awesome. So cute. Thank you, Add More Zest. All right, so I am up to day 8, which is actually located up here. So I need to turn my painting around. And in case you have not tuned in yet, the calendar itself is very self-explanatory. I put cover sheets over each day and I labeled them. So number 8 for day 8. However, I was not real exact with how I boxed off each day, just because some of the days are different sizes from other days. And so I will just complete whatever is exposed for that day, and then anything else that may be covered, like day 23 is covering the base row of the border for day 8. I will just do that when I get to day 23. I decided I'm not going to sweat about this kind of thing. I will just do what I can. This is supposed to be fun, right? So I'm trying to keep it fun. My household is getting hit hard with colds and just normal seasonal icky things. And I think I am now coming down with something, and it's winter, all right. And I'm kind of bummed about it. So I don't know how long I will last today for actually talking. What I normally do is, for these videos, I spend just a little bit of time sharing some kind of a holiday related story, and then I speed you up and you can watch me in super fast motion complete my square, and then I come back very briefly at the end with what the final square looks like. But tonight, with me feeling very congested and I have kind of a headache, and it's kind of chaotic right now. I have one kid taking a shower. I got other kids in the kitchen here eating food, even though it's 9 o'clock at night. But this is what happens when you have teenagers. My teens may be girls, but until you have teenage girls, you don't understand just how much food a teenage girl is still capable of eating. It's a lot. I mean, not like a teen boy, but it is an awful lot of food. So I went around and I asked my family what their favorite Christmas movies were. And I thought we would talk about some Christmas films today. And I would love it if you would include in the comments what your favorite Christmas movie is. Or maybe you have a couple of them, like my husband could only narrow it down to 3. And I don't know that I could narrow it down much further than that either. I've not actually considered the question for myself yet. But my kids' answers were somewhat interesting. My oldest two, who you maybe hear in the background laughing and goofing off a little bit right now, both of them, their favorite was Home Alone, which I find kind of funny. Hold on a second. What is going on, daughters?
The dog ate potato bread.
The dog ate potato bread. He'll be fine. How much did he eat?
Veda.
He ate an entire Veda-sized piece of bread? I don't think so. The dog will be fine, children. The dog will be fine. You need to start getting yourselves to bed.
Like my arm across, like this way.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's not my fault.
He'll be fine. Whew. Again, sorry guys. See, this is what life is like around here. It's always crazy. Never boring. I am never, ever bored. But anyway, both of those older two said that their favorite holiday movie was Home Alone, which I just think is so interesting given how old of a movie it is. And that it is a movie that, you know, I very likely could have said was my favorite movie at their ages. I mean, it's just kind of crazy to me, the longevity of that film. Just crazy. I don't know if you've seen, Netflix has a series. I don't remember what it's called, The Movies That Made Us or something like that. And one season, they do talk about Home Alone, and it's worth watching. It's really interesting learning some more about the history of that film. So if you have Netflix, try and see if you can find it. It's a Netflix series, and it's called something like The Movies That Made Us, kind of like The Toys That Made Us, same type of idea. Very interesting, very, very interesting. There also was one version of Home Alone that came out maybe 20 years after its original release. Maybe it was a 20-year or 25-year. And I happened to catch that one on a DVD or Blu-ray. And the commentary with that was also really good and quite interesting. But I can't remember which year that was. And my guess is if you were to get any like Blu-ray disc now, you probably would have that same commentary on there. But that had like a couple of the big names associated with the film, including like Macaulay Culkin. And it was interesting. It's been a long time since I've heard it, but I do remember thinking that it was really interesting hearing some of these things now as an adult and like what he remembers from when he was a child. Very, very interesting. So that was my oldest two. That was their favorite holiday movie when I asked them. Daughter number 3, if you know my daughter at all. If you know my daughter at all, it should not come as any kind of a shock or surprise when I tell you that her favorite Christmas movie is The Muppet Christmas Carol. She has already watched that movie or had it on as background noise while she's been working on some other stuff countless times already this year alone. Since about Thanksgiving weekend, that movie has been on my living room television a lot. And I don't mind. I really, truly don't. That's one of my favorite holiday movies. It's just so well done. And I've talked about that in a whip and chat that I did with her, actually. About how, you know, there are so many things that make that version of A Christmas Carol so good. For starters, the fact that they use actual language from the book, I think is huge and does so much. It adds so much. But then being able to add that humor in there with your Muppet characters is enormous. I don't know if you've seen like that really old Christmas Carol movie. I don't even remember who stars in it, but I remember watching that one when I was still pretty small, and that movie was creepy. Like really creepy. And Muppet Christmas Carol isn't. It's good. It's funny. It's well done. The message is still there. It still feels authentic, despite the fact that almost the entire cast, except Michael Caine, are Muppets. Just really well done movie, in my opinion. So that was also one of my husband's favorite movies as well. One of the 3 that he selected. Then when I asked my son, I wasn't sure if he would have an answer, but he did immediately, which kind of surprised me. He right away said Prep and Landing, which is, it feels like there's a couple of those.
Mom, we watched them on Saturday.
My daughter Veda informs me that they watched those movies on Saturday. But there are, I think, a couple of them, but they're about elves that work with Santa. They're on Disney Plus. They're Disney films. Cute. I haven't seen Prep and Landing yet this year, but apparently the kids have. But I was just really surprised. He had an answer for me immediately, and I wasn't expecting that. So, yay him. Then my husband, his other 2 favorites, and again, I am really sorry about the amount of background noise we have going on here. This is a little bit ridiculous, daughters. He also said Muppet Christmas Carol and Christmas in Connecticut, which I'm trying to remember how I discovered that movie. I don't remember how I ended up discovering that movie because it's not one that I watched growing up. This was something I think it was the first Christmas we lived here where we live now that I think somehow, I don't remember if I feel like I must have rented it from Netflix, way back in the day when Netflix was a subscription service and they would mail you discs and you'd have to mail them back, because I can't think of how else I would have found it unless I saw it at the store and I read it and I thought, oh, this sounds really good. And it would have been inexpensive enough that I would have just purchased it. I honestly don't remember. But it became one of our favorites. And for several years, that was our anniversary tradition, is we would decorate the tree and watch Christmas in Connecticut together on our wedding anniversary. But as the kids became older, traditions change. Things just need to change. So the kids have seen that movie now 1 time, and they have expressed an interest in watching it again. So I think we'll probably pull it out this year at some point and watch that one again. If you haven't seen it, it is really fun. A lot of that movie has made it into our daily lexicon. Like, there are parts of that movie that we repeat for fun. Really, just a sweet 1950s film. Well done. Definitely worth your time. Oh, what color? Let's, I guess, just jump ahead to black here. And then my husband's 3rd movie is Klaus, which came out on Netflix a few years ago now. And I'd completely forgotten about that one until he mentioned it again. But then it's like, oh, that's right. That was so good. And if you're not familiar with it, definitely check it out on Netflix. But it is about a postal worker. I think it's about a postal worker who gets sent to work in this like run-down town. Anyway, he ends up meeting Santa, and it's just, I haven't seen it now recently. And with him bringing it up again, it's like, oh, that's right. That was such a good movie. So I will have to look into that one again for myself. Other ones that we like, Holiday Inn a lot. That is where the song White Christmas first debuted, was in that movie. And the way that White Christmas is sung in that version is definitely different than in the movie White Christmas. And Holiday Inn is fun because you can watch that any time of the year because it covers all of these holidays during the year. And actually, the 4th of July dance number that Fred Astaire does is fantastic. It is so well done. He uses firecrackers and he's dancing and he's throwing firecrackers out of his pockets. And this is like really gross now, but it's pretty incredible to watch. He does the whole thing while smoking a cigarette. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy to me. Otherwise, I'm a sucker for things like the Santa Claus. I like that movie quite a bit too. It's a Wonderful Life is not among a family favorite film. My husband has said not so much anymore because he now does something different within the state, but my husband has said that he kind of feels like what he sees in that movie, he sees mirrored every single day in real life, and it's just way too depressing. So that movie does not have a warm spot in our hearts. Trying to think if there's any others that are glaringly obvious that I've forgotten to mention. I mean, obviously there's things like Christmas Story and other classics that are just fun. But I would love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite Christmas movies or holiday movies? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And my voice is starting to give out, and so I think I'm going to be done talking now. Again, I'm really sorry about all the background noise. It is what it is. But I'm going to speed this up for you, and then you can come back when my square is done. I'm back. Here's day 8. Look at how cute that is. Oh, adorable. So cute. So much detail too in such a tiny little square. I love the shadow. Oh, so cool. All right, guys, I am headed out. I'm not feeling awesome, so I'm going to try and make an early night tonight, but I will see you tomorrow for day 9.